What's up, everybody, and welcome to Buzzworthy TV. And I'm your girl, Lady T. So, y'all, I know I am late. I know I usually bring y'all the review of SWV and Escapes the Queens of R&B on Monday. But, y'all, it was so much going on social media between Tamar and Candy, and then Candy and Tiny versus the ladies of SWV. It was just too much. Too much. So I did do a video talking about the feud going on social media between Tamar and Candy. So please go watch that video. It dropped last night. And today we're going to get into all this craziness with season 1, episode 3 of SWV and Escapes the Queens of R&B. I really wish we could have a season 2, but with all this madness and all this drama and this dysfunction, I highly doubt we'll get it, and honestly, I think it's for the best. Now, before we get into this episode, I'm going to need you all to do me a few things. Number 1, like the video. Thank you. Number 2, subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much. And then number 3, drop a comment down in the comment section. Thanks so much. Now, as you all know, I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers, okay? And so we are in the midst of a giveaway. And to enter the giveaway, you only have to subscribe to my channel so we can get to those 1,000 subscribers, of course. And then also leave a comment in the comment section so I can just know who you are, so I can enter you into the giveaway. Okay, now let's get into this mess, because I plan to have a come to Jesus moment with everybody when it comes to who should headline this show, okay? But I'm going to say that to the end. So the episode begins, I should say, with Tasha and Taj meeting up. Because you already know from last episode, Tasha snuck her sneaky ass down to Nashville to have a meeting in regards to a record deal. Ain't told no dang on body in regards to the members of Escape that she's out here, looking for a record deal and taking meetings and stuff. Nah, she ain't told nobody. Okay, she just wants to be free and have her peace, but she don't think she should let her members know. But oh well. So anyway, they meet up at the National Museum of African American Music that is out there in Nashville. For what I saw in the museum, you all, I definitely want to go. I love music, so what they were doing was right up my alley. Forest Rocks, who went there, shout out to Forest Rocks. Please, you all, go check out her channel. Actually, it's not Forest Rocks anymore. It's just simply It's Rocks. So go check out her channel. She was talking about how she went to the National Museum of African American Music in Nashville, and she said she really enjoyed it. She says a lot of interactive things to do at the museum, and it's really fun. So yes, I want to check it out too, because I am a music lover. So again, it'll be right up my alley. So they're walking around looking at all the exhibits and the pictures of all the greats in African American music, and of course they stop by all the greats, NWA, and Taj talks about how she used to listen to them and be listening to their cassettes and cussing. And Tasha's talking about, well, we grew up in the church, but I would go over my cousin's house, and that's why I would listen to it. And I ain't gonna lie, when she said that, it reminded me of the family that I grew up in. My family was the family's house that you came over to listen to that type of music. Now, my cousin's family, when I was spending over there, that's where we were sanctified and Holy Ghost filled, okay? So she never lied. Where you had your cousin's house, where you went to listen to all the secular music, and then you had other family members that were all sanctified. Yeah, I was the opposite. I was that cousin that had the NWA cassettes, okay? So anyway, So they talk about that for a moment, and then they sit down, and Tasha tells Taj that, hey, I just took a meeting for a record deal. And Taj like, record deal? You wait a minute. What? You leave the group? And she's like, basically, I just need some peace. I just want to be free. I just want to do my own thing. And Taj is like, where's all this coming from? And she was like, well, me and my sister ain't really getting along. She called herself trying to body shame me, talking about me being a little booty of the group. And I'm with Taj. I know all this is not stemming from no little booty. Okay? And she was like, no, it's more than that. She disrespected my mom. And even Taj is not believing this. Even her confessional, she's like, there's got to be something deeper. And what the something deeper is, Tasha wants to be solo. She's always wanted to be solo, okay? She only uses this group to her advantage to get her out, to get herself out there, to get noticed, to get noticed. She only wants to get herself noticed. She does not want to be a part of the group. That's what it is. That's the bigger picture. She just don't want to do it. So anyway, after that, Coco meets up with her friends. She meets up with her friends, Trey and Tamaya. Now, Trey and Tamaya, I really like them. They like your regular, shout out to Carly B, regular folks. And like Coco said, when she get off that stage, she ain't Coco of SWB. She a regular person, so she mess with the real ones. If you on that whole Hollywood stuff, she ain't for that. And you know what? I respect that. And you can just tell, like, when she's around her people, like her friends, her mom, just really her inner circle. You can tell that's where she's most at home, most comfortable, and you can tell that she's not for that Hollywood stuff. Now, Coco got her attitudes, Coco got her diva moments, but to me, I just think that's Coco's personality. I don't think she's Hollywood, as they would say. Yes, she knows her worth, and yes, she can have an ego. Like Ty said, her ego became the fourth member of SWV. But I just think that's part of her personality and part of her disorder. Because actually, in the confessional, while she's out with Trey and Tamaya, she talks about how she was diagnosed with bipolar depression back in 2017. And how she can experience very high highs and low lows. And she didn't realize that something was wrong until she really wanted to unalive somebody. It ain't just like, ooh, he made me mad. Like, she really wanted to unalive this person. She was just so filled with anger, and she didn't know where it came from. So finally she went and got help, and they gave her some meds. The meds is on the right calibration, so she been good. Whoo, child, she been good so far. But I bet you these meetings with Escape, they're going to be trying her mental health. I'm going to tell you that now. I can see it. So anyway, her friend Trey asks her about how she is doing. And she tells him that, mental health is good. And, they all laugh and talk and having a good time. And Tamaya, she's a little older than her. Younger than her. Sorry. So Tamaya's a little bit younger than Coco. And I don't know, Tamaya made some remark about Coco being older than her. She was like, girl, I'm 52, but my kitty cat screams 21. I was like, girl, I know that's right. So anyway, seems like a really fun night. And so then we move on to Tamika and her mother, y'all. So listen, I ain't gonna lie. Every time there's a scene with Tamika and her mother, it's really emotional, and it really pulls at my heartstrings because it's just so much, y'all. It's just so freaking much. Like Tamika is just in so much pain, and her mom just doesn't see it. I don't know if she just doesn't see it because she doesn't want to see it, or it's just she's just oblivious. But however the case, Tamika invites her mom over to dinner. She makes her mom her favorite meal, salmon and cabbage. And shout out to Tamika Scott. Y'all, go pick up her book, okay? She has a cookbook out. Go order her book. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Go pick up her book because She cooks her butt off, okay? And I heard her recipes are lit, okay? So if you can, go pick up her book. Show some support to Tamika Scott. So anyway, she made her mom dinner. Her mom comes in. You can even tell that it was still tension because even the way the mom walked in was like, hello, Tamika. And she was like, hi, mama. Glad to see you. And she was like, glad to see you. It was kind of like a little bit of tension. So Tamika made the plates. They sit down. And so Mama G said, so you tell me, what is the problem between me, you, and Tasha? And so Tamika begins with, I just feel like you don't allow me to express myself. And she said, what do you mean? She said, I feel like you allow her to Tasha to express herself, and you basically ignore me. And she was like, well, I allow her to express herself because she don't come at me disrespectful. Now, granted, you can tell that Mama G is an old school Christian parent. And that's a twofold, okay? You got old school parents who is do as I say, not as I do. But to add on the religious factor on top of that, where you get all this religious connotation on top of it, it becomes a lot, okay? In a sense of her mom doesn't get it. Like, she feels as though Tamika is being disrespectful. And I just think that Tamika is just speaking up for herself. Especially now, as she stated, a lot of times she did speak up for herself because when she would, it'd be like she was going against the family. And she never wanted to be seen as if she was against the family. So a lot of times she would bite her tongue. And I can see that she's telling the truth because this time we saw her speak up, it became an issue. Now, granted, I do believe that some of the issue is because she brought up some of their major problems on camera, and they weren't ready for that. But like Tamika said in her reviews for the show, you can't keep poking the bear. Keep always taking her side, never hearing me, making me feel like I'm invisible, and then specifically ask me, when don't I stand up for you against Tasha? And then when I have a knee-jerk reaction and give you a response and a reason and an example, it's World War III. Now, granted, it might not have been the right time, but hey, she was triggered. So her mother felt as though she was being disrespectful. They played the scene that was cut out when Tamika was telling her that she's not the fifth member of Escape. And here is where we come to the sound bite of the clip. And I'm going to use the sound bite of the clip. Well, no, I'm going to say the sound bite of the episode, okay? So the sound bite of this whole episode is, I am the fifth member. I am the fifth member when I put that mic in your hand. I am the fifth member when I keep you and Tasha together. I am the fifth member when I sat up there and did what I had to do when your father left us with nothing. Okay? I am the fifth member. I was like, okay, guess she's the fifth member. Okay. So Tamika ends their dinner by telling her mom, hey, Mom, you know what? Okay, I made you this dinner because I wanted to tell you how I feel. I wanted to apologize for disrespecting you. And I also wanted to tell you that, if we can't, basically, if she can't find a way to hear me or see where I'm coming from just even a little bit, I'm going to have to walk away. And then I was like, what do you mean walk away? And then I think somewhat of a dim light may have came on, because I still don't believe, because Tamika just said in a recent interview, her mama is still saying that she's jealous. But so that's why I'm going to give her a dim light. So Mama G's dim light came on, and she was like, Tamika, I love you. And she was like, and if I made you feel that basically that I love Tasha more than you, I'm sorry. And she gave her a hug, and that was the end of that scene. So I honestly hope that they do get on the road to healing, and that her mom realized what she's doing in regards to pitting these sisters against each other. I mean, no one wants her to downplay her relationships. I know that each parent has a different and special relationship with each one of their children. But the fact that she's allowing these special relationships that she has with each one of her children to usurp her judgment and cause her to pit both of her daughters against each other is unacceptable. And I hope she really does realize that. And I hope Tamika does stand her ground and say, hey, I'm going to have to walk away. If we can't begin to see eye to eye, and if you can't start to treat me like how I deserve to be treated, I'm going to have to walk away. And again, I hope Tamika stands firm on that. Okay. So, after that, we see SWV, they on their way to Pittsburgh, baby. They out here doing shows, okay? Now, one thing I like about SWV, 2 out of the 3 shows, what have we seen them do? Perform, okay? They out here booking shows, they booking busy. They get into the bag. I mean, they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Legends of their caliber are supposed to be doing, getting to the money and going about their business, traveling all over the world and having a good time. And nothing else matters. All that other petty drama that they had back in the day, they done learned to put that to the wayside and learn to pick and choose their battles and keep things in perspective. And I love that for them. I love the fact that they are the balance. SWV, anybody from SWV, if you ever watch my show, if anybody has any connection to SWV and wants to share my video, I know right now that they have had it. And again, I'm going to get to this whole situation that just happened with SWV and Escape about this whole headline situation. I'm going to get to it. But I just wanted to say, SWV, I'm going to need y'all to stay on this show. If for some reason it can manage, everybody can manage to do a season 2, I'm going to need SWV to be there because they are the balance. And they need to continue to show and be an example to Escape of how you can get over your differences and get to the freaking bag, okay? Escape needs them as an example because Escape is all messed up, okay? They're nothing but drama. Love them. All of them are talented, one of the best groups around, but they too drama filled. And that is going to be their downfall, which is going to lead me to some of my thoughts in regards to that meeting that they had with SWV at the end of this episode. So anyway, we're going to how Taj went to go meet up with Candy. Everybody loves Taj. Taj is love and light. She is that person that's going to give you good advice. I love freaking Taj. Taj, MVP. I love Taj. Taj, MVP. From the show to even how you handle this stuff on social media. MVP. Girl, MVP. Man, thank you for being a shining light. And maybe you can be an example and grow a lot of these women up that's on this show, okay? So, Taj and Candy get together. And Taj tells Candy that, she she met up with Tasha while Tasha was in Nashville. And so she tells Candy that, yeah, Tasha was in Nashville because she had a meeting with a record label. And so Candy was like, oh, really? And so she proceeds to tell her, like, yeah, she's talking to a record label and supposedly she's going to get a solo deal. And so Candy It's not the prize. Like she told Taj, this is history repeating itself. She loves to pick fights and be standoffish when she sees other opportunities. Okay. And Taj tells her, she believes it because Coco did the same thing. And Taj told her, I know that this hurts. I know this is not what y'all planned. But hey, at the end of the day, the show must go on, whether she's gonna do it or not. And Candy was like, I agree. So at the end of the conversation, Candy's like, at the end of the day, we gonna make it work, whether it's 3 or 4 of us. And so Taj was like, cool. Well, why don't y'all meet me and the girls at SWV at our rehearsal so that we can decide how we're gonna move forward with either the tour or just putting on a one night only incredible show. Okay? So she said, cool. All right. So after that, we go to Lily and her son. Now, I love Lily. Lily is a ball of fun. She don't take no mess. What you see is what you get. And so she's out with her son. They having drinks or whatever. And, he is a artist. He's a rapper. And he kind of wants his mom to use some of her connections in the music business to kind of help him out. And her thing is, hey, I ain't had nobody helping me. I literally struggled to get in the business. I even struggled after I got famous, okay? Shit. After I got famous, I was still living in my car when everything fell apart. So if I had to get it how I live, you got to get it how you live too, okay? But this goes into Lily's story about how, not only was she a teenage mother at 15, but when Escape broke up, she didn't know what to do, to the point where she was homeless. She would literally ride around all night until the sun came up and would park her car in a Dodger Stadium parking lot at about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning and be able to, and would sleep then, okay? And so, she's talking to her son about how she had to basically get it. She started going back to school. She got her GED. She got her job. SWV finally got back together. And, she was able to make a come up. So she was like, I had to figure it out, so you have to figure it out. And so she also tells her son about this erotica auto book that she's working on and things of that nature. And I'm like, go ahead, Lily. I'm all for multiple streams of income. Okay, and speaking of SWV, the members of SWV and their sons, we go over to Coco and her son, Jalen. I love Jalen. I've loved Jalen since following him and Coco on Instagram singing. And, I was a fan even before I saw him come out on Versus, okay? Love Jalen. And he got his mama whole face. So, basically, they're still talking about how he wants to quit school. He's in school to be a dentist, to focus on his music career. And Coco ain't feeling it. She's like, first of all, you're going because I paid for it. And then second of all, this music business ain't all what it's cracked up to be. Yeah, you talented, but it's a monster, okay? And, dentistry is stable. Like, she just wants the best for her son. But he's like, it's just not good for my mental health to do stuff that I don't want to do. And he started crying, and they was on the phone with Coco Mama. And so basically they decided that he's going to take a year off, see how it goes in regards to him, focus on his music, and if it doesn't work out, then he'll go back to school, okay? So I think that's a fair compromise, okay? Because a lot of people say, well, he ain't gonna go back to school. I'm like, do you know who his mom is? If he didn't want to go back to school, Coco's gonna make sure he go back to school, okay? Okay, so here is where we get to the mess, y'all. We get to this, and I'm about to close my notes because we about to have a talk. Okay, so the final scene is where we get to the meeting with SWB and Escape, where Escape comes to SWB's rehearsal to talk about this joint show or tour. Okay, so first we see Candy. She's driving. Well, actually, she's pulling up to the rehearsal space. She's calling Tiny. Tiny like, yeah, girl, I'm about to pull up. And so Candy says in her confessional that she's already done told Tiny that she heard from Taj that Tasha is shopping around a solo deal. Okay, so Candy already said, yes, I done told it. Okay, but no one has really addressed it just yet. But yeah, it's out there. Okay, and then when Tiny pulls up, she pulls up, and Tasha's pulling up right beside her, so they come in together. Okay, so everybody gets there or whatever, right? And so, they all sit down, and Taj is like, because at first I thought it was going to be a tour too, but the first thing Taj said is, what incredible night with two legendary groups. Everybody put your hands in. Okay, so everybody put their hands in except Tasha, but she eventually reluctantly puts her hands in. So once that's established, Candy, I love you, but we're going to get into this. Candy is like, okay, so not trying to be funny, but every one of our tours, we headline. So how did y'all see this going? And they was like, so y'all didn't want to co-headline? And they was like, no disrespect to y'all. We love y'all and everything, but we always headline, and that ain't what we were thinking. And so Taj was saying, okay, I get it. So since you've been back. And so Kate was like, yeah. So since I've been back. And I didn't even see nothing wrong with her saying, since you've been back. I was thinking she was just clarifying that, okay, I'm feeling you. So since you've been back, y'all been headlining. And that's true. Candy, there's no shade to that. Since all original members have been back with Escape, yes, y'all become the headliners. And that's only because this goes with every group. No one wants to see parts of the group. So, of course, their billability as far as how they're going to be billed and how they tour and how the promoters book them is going to be quite different as opposed to having all original members. So yes, ever since you've been back, you're right. You guys have headlined, but they probably haven't when it was just Tasha, Tamika, you know, and even when you said that one moment, for a short moment when you weren't there, you know, Tiny, Tamika, and Tasha did their thing. They even replaced you with another fourth girl back in, you know, the 2000s or whatever. So anyway, so she was like, yeah. She was like, oh, okay. She was like, I get that, but for this one night, it should be headlining. And Candy kind of gave that little look, and Lily was like, I gotta go, because she just wasn't feeling it. And Coco followed right behind her, and Coco was like, I sold 30 million records, bitch. I'm not headlining. I'm not opening for nobody. Coco is just like, no, not opening for nobody. It is not happening, not at all. And here's the thing, because that's how it ended, and we are going to now go into what happened on social media after the episode. So after the episode, with all this cliffhanger drama of who's going to be the headliner, Coco said that she sold 30 million records, bitch, and she is not opening for no damn body. It causes uproar on social media talking about basically how Escape disrespected SWB and they should be ashamed of themselves and humble themselves. What's wrong with co-headline and things like that? Okay. And honestly, I agree. I feel as though, and Candy, I saw your speak on it. So if no one saw the speak on it where Candy pulled out receipts and the reasons why her and Tiny were fighting so hard for their group to be headliners, it was two reasons. Number one, at that time, they didn't really have good management. So Candy had to be the one to speak up because they didn't really have good management at the time. Were in the process of looking for new management per episode 2. So I get that. So she pointed that out, her speak on it. But also, too, like she said, it's about ticket sales. She was like, absolutely. She was like, no disrespect to SWV. Yes, they sell more records than us. But right now, we sell more tickets. And that's what this is all about. Who's going to buy more tickets to the shows for which group? And I get that. I totally get what she was saying. And when she brought that up, I'm like, okay, make a point. And then she also stated that their booking fee is more than SWV's. Like she said 3 to 4 times. I'm not sure. I can't speak on that because I didn't see the figures. But that's what she said. Now, if that's the case, it is a situation where if they're going to split it 50-50, then Escape would take a pay cut and SWV would get a raise. Okay? So, to respond to everything that she just said, Candy, you're absolutely right. That in regards to relevancy, and I'm just saying to somebody who's seen, I went to both shows. I've seen both SWV and Escape in the past few years. Literally, in the past 4 years, I've seen both groups, okay? Alrighty, and I'm going to tell you, love SWV. Absolutely has a more diverse, more universal catalog than Escape. Escape, we not sleeping on y'all because y'all got some classics too. Y'all are that girl. Y'all are those girls. Nobody's taking it away from you. But we're just talking about as far as how many records sold and the fact that they sampled, Michael Jackson with the Human Nature, Be Right Here, the Human Nature remix. Come on, like that right there, and that right there. Rain. I mean, I could go on. I'm so into you, girl. Candy, you almost played yourself with this one, cause I'm just naming stuff off the top of my head. I ain't even thinking about it. So, anyway, with that being said, though, cause SWV definitely has a greater catalog. But however, as somebody again who's seen both groups, Escape puts on a better show. They dance. The way they set list is arranged, the way they bring out special guests, the way DJ A1 gets the crowd hype, it's just different. It's just a different vibe. They be hype. They really do be hype. Their concert experience is a little bit different than SWV's. With SWV's, you're going to get the hits, you're going to dance, you're going to bop. It's going to be amazing. But Escape got that hype factor. Like, they going to get you in there. You're going to be popping. You're going to be dancing. I mean, I wish I could put in some video clips of when me and my sister went. Like, when I tell you, it was an experience. Escape's put on the show. Okay? Say what you want about SWV's catalog, because I'm not denying that at all. But unless you've been to an Escape show, it's a reason why they sell out. Okay? And a lot of people are like, well, they on tour with all these other people. Yes, they are. And Candy, all the critics, they're right about that. Right now, y'all on tour with 5-6 different acts, okay, at this point. Y'all not doing your own tour right now, okay? So, but even with that said, I saw them on their own tour with the Great Escape tour, okay? And when I tell you, it's a vibe, man. It's a vibe. Now, SWV is a vibe too. It's just they a little bit more laid back. They DJ ain't as hype, but it's a great show. That gets me to my point of that's why they should co-headline. Because while Escape is gonna bring in them ticket sales and bring up that hypeness and that fun and gonna get you out your seats, SWV gonna get you out those seats with them hits and gonna have everybody singing every word to the songs, man. Like, that's why I should be co-headlining, because each group brings something different when it comes to a show. And that's what's gonna make y'all sell out all over. Forget the US, all over the world. Like, honestly, if y'all could get y'all act together, I'm talking about all y'all, because all y'all at fault, except for Taj. Taj's the only one that's innocent right now. Okay, if y'all could get y'all act together and really come together and be about y'all bag, y'all could forget just selling out 40 shows here. Y'all could make this a global thing, because everybody named Mama would kill to see an SWV and Escape show. Like, y'all need to combine forces and see, to see the greatness of each group and see how y'all could really kill it all over the world. And Candy, I'm surprised that you, being a businesswoman, didn't realize that. Like, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying about how they would have to take a pay cut, because even if, because let's just say that Candy was exaggerating about they get paid 3 to 4 times more than the SWV in regards to their fee. Okay? Let's just say she was exaggerating and they only get paid maybe a little bit more, maybe just one time, not even double the fee, but just maybe like 1 times the amount, okay? However more they get paid more than SWV, Candy, the way this show could pop, the way this tour could pop, y'all could all renegotiate and all get more money. What y'all could have did, but y'all was all into y'all egos, is start off with a 1 night only show, kill it, co-headline it, and I mean kill it, put all that bullshit aside, kill it. Get all these promoters and everybody on social media excited and paying a freaking attention, and then go back there and negotiate them dang on fees. And everybody could have won, because Escape could have negotiated for more money, and so could SWV, and then everybody could have been happy. But no, everybody wanted to get into their feelings, particularly Escape. And I didn't like that. And so because everybody felt like Escape was being disrespectful, everybody on social media was coming for Escape and was like, how dare you? And then the girls from Escape, started to respond, because they started seeing how, Tiny and Candy was responding, because everybody was coming for them. Like, I don't think Tiny and Candy are trying to be disrespectful, but this social media stuff is very ugly, okay? Very ugly. These people on social media, and it's funny because a lot of people be like, oh, it's just social media, I can say what I want, it ain't that serious, and all that stuff. Oh, yes, it is that serious, because you just never know how what you said affects the next person. Why you thinking that, you just keyboard fucking? No, some people take that to heart. So they was, these people was coming at Escape so bad. Candy and Tiny, start clapping back like it's about ticket sales. We're not trying to disrespect them. It's about ticket sales. And, people was clipping Candy speak on, talking about how, they get paid 3 to 4 times as much as SWV. And so SWV started to get offended. It wasn't already enough that they was offended on the show, but now people are watching it back and still talking about it. So then they start posting up their receipts, like how they still killing them in regards to streaming and all this other stuff. It's just a big mess. And I just need everybody to cut it all out. Y'all are too old and too grown and too legendary for all this to be going on. So y'all, that is the end of the episode. That's the end of my rant in regards to this whole SWV and Escape feud. Okay, and then at Barbie, Candy's cousin, I'm gonna need her to stay out of it too, because now she done inserted herself when Kingdom Ben got out the chat, but now her cousin in the chat, so she want to go back and forth with Lily. Girl, stop. Your cousin ain't even engaging no more, okay? Anyway, y'all, I'm going to need y'all to drop y'all opinions in the comments. What do y'all think about all this mess that happened on episode 3 of SWV and Escapes the Queens of R&B? What y'all think about what happened on social media after the episode with everybody going back and forth? Let me know what y'all think. Till next time, peace.